Hola, muy buenas a todos, ¿cómo estáis? Espero que estéis todos genial. Y aquí estamos de nuevo con Final Fantasy XVI, con Clive. Estamos aquí de nuevo en la guarida. Y cuando yo creía que se había terminado el juego, que estaba luchando con el boss, aparecemos de nuevo en la guarida y continúa la historia, tío. Pero ¿cuándo coño se acaba Final Fantasy XVI? A ver, que por mí guay, que yo no creo que se acabe, tío. Si ayer yo lloraba ya, que pensaba que ya se me terminaba el juego. Y me lloraba más que nada porque yo estaba ahí que quería conseguir la espada final. ¿Y qué pasa si invito a todo el mundo por 10.000 giles? Total, nos sobra la pasta, tío. Venga, vamos a invitar a todos.
Honestly, Sid, you're too nice for your own good. You hear that, ladies and gents? The next round's courtesy of the realm's most benevolent outlaw.
Aquí se me sobra la pasta.
Don't be a stranger, Sid.
¿Y qué se supone? ¿Que esto me carga la vida o no? Puede ser. Bueno. Pues vamos a continuar de momento con la historia. Y... Y a ver si... Pues yo qué sé, es que nos faltan misiones secundarias que hacer. Porque yo intenté hacerlo de la espada y no pude hacerlo. Porque tenía que luchar con unas escorias que aún no me salían disponibles. Así que por eso yo ayer estaba flipando y digo, ¿qué he hecho mal? Que no me han salido las escorias para conseguir la arma. Así que... Ahora sí creo que... Yo vamos, yo es que pensaba que ayer se terminaba, ¿eh? O sea, yo pensaba que ayer cuando jugué se me terminaba la historia. Y Joshua me encanta porque tiene, es que está el diseño clavado para Fénix, no sé, es que tiene cara de pájaro, tío,
Ultima
Joshua.
may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. The chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it, it won't be easy. It may take generations, centuries of suffering. And that is if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
Qué mono es Joshua, tío. A mí me encanta Joshua, ¿eh? Clive es guapísimo, pero Joshua también es muy mono, ¿eh?
But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are. And what of my wings?
Hombre, las tuyas son más poderosas,
Lest you
sinceramente.
forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
He speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. Let's come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to. Does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill.
Bueno, ahora vamos a
I don't
buscar a
know if she
Jill, venga.
understands.
Venga, pues a por Jill. Jill está... ¿Dónde voy, tío? Jill, ¿dónde está, tío? A ver. Buah, me estoy yendo donde no me tengo que ir.
It's the skies.
¿Se ha ido esta mujer?
Lady Karen has seen her.
Hostia, me he pasado. Claro, tenía que haber ido al camarote. Me estoy perdiendo. ¿Y dónde estás tú, Jill? ¿Aquí?
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
Que esos signos, tío. Venga, las misiones secundarias.
Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything.
Vale, ya hasta ahora sí, tío. Joder. Fin, tío. A ver, si bien me pesa apartarte de tus quehaceres para rogarte ayuda con un asunto personal. No encuentro alternativa posible. Verás, hace poco conseguí una copia del libro que me inspiró a ser quien soy hoy, en cuyas páginas se encierra una valiosa lección para la humanidad de el hoy y el mañana. El manuscrito se llama Desde la distancia, pero tampoco comunicarte que ya no obra en mi poder. Alguien me lo sustrajo en algún momento de distracción. Si tuvieras a bien de ayudarme a encontrarlo, te estaría eternamente agradecida y recibirás justo tu recompensa. Claro.
Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Sí, hay un montón. Ah, no, pero esta ya la hice, ¿no? Sí, esta ya está. A Toga le vuelve a pasar algo. Por si no te habías dado cuenta, tu perro anda un tanto raro. Se pasa todo el día en las cubiertas de babor mirando al horizonte, como si quisiera marcharse en alguna parte. No me seas mangarrán y pásate a echar un vistazo. ¿Vale?
What is it this time, Torgal?
Togo. Ya está. Vale. Guay, un montón, ¿eh? ¡Mi madre! Y en el del... ¿No querías misiones? Toma misiones. ¿Qué hago? Y aquí... Pues aquí también hay, ¿eh? Bueno, hay 2 y 3 en verdad, ¿no? Aquí no hay nada. Vale, pues ahora sí que estamos ya en lo último, ¿eh? Del juego. Vale. A ver, tengo que ir aquí. ¿Y el otro dónde es? Bueno, primero iremos aquí.
Say what you will, Lady Karen.
Ah, mira, si está todo... Pobrecito, mi perro. ¿Qué te pasa, Togo?
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there?
¿Qué le pasa? ¿Qué ves? ¿Un trozo
I
de
never did
pollo
ask where you
gigante?
got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
Ah.
That long ago.
And you're only thinking to ask this now?
Chiripa,
Sid
chiripa.
saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
¿Y por qué se morisquea?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age.
Yo quiero un perro como
Doubly
Togo.
hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he was looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Ay, mi niña. Uy, que no quiere.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you?
Ah.
You want me to go with you somewhere?
Yo me muero con Toggle, es
Quick,
más
aren't
mono.
you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Este personaje también es muy molón, Caron.
Where to then, Torgal?
A ver, ¿dónde me llevas, Toggle? ¿Pero dónde se me ha ido el perro? Bueno, el lobo gélido. A ver, aquí.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me?
Uy, le daría una de
I'm
besos.
going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Vale, a ver, vamos, Toggle. Aquí.
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy.
¿Qué te pasa, Toggle?
I wasn't being serious. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal?
Que era su cabaña, tío. Que cuando eran niños. Bueno, cachorro y niño. Sí. Y mira Clive cómo era, ¿eh?
Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy?
¿Qué hay? Hostia, una espada.
This is all from the castle. In Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here?
Oh. Oh, me muero.
My sparring sword.
Me da ganas de llorar. Mi niño, qué mono es mi Togol.
Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal, for never giving up, for never forgetting.
Me muero. Espero que a Togol no le pase nada, ¿eh?
So I don't forget either.
Qué mono mi Togol. ¿Y ahora dónde vamos?
That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal.
A ver, ¿ahora qué?
All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going.
Me muero.
People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Me muero con Togol. Ay, de verdad, qué mono es este chico. La espada de madera chamuscada. Ya está, ¿no?
Vivian, I read your note, and I'd be happy to help you find the book you're looking for.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will not be easy. Are you sure?
Please. You have always granted me your wisdom and insight whenever I asked. It's only right that I return the favor. Or at least attempt to.
You are too kind. Alas, what I ask of you is rather more trying than delivering the odd lecture. I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where another copy might be found, but perhaps it is best that you hear the details from him.
If you say so.
Forgive me, Clive, for asking this of you. But this book, it set me on the path to becoming who I am today. Its importance cannot be overstated.
Vale, pues vamos, chiquilla, vamos a buscar tu libro. ver, ¿dónde tengo que ir a buscar tu libro? Pero aquí no. What?
There's something about it.
¿Pero dónde voy? Ah, vale, Hipócrates.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Hippocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book called From a Distance.
Then you seek a rare gem indeed. One whose name I had not thought to hear from your lips. You've been talking to Vivian.
Right as always. But she didn't seem keen to tell me very much. I take it she didn't like what you had to say.
And yet I gather it did naught to dissuade her. Clive, if the young professor has tasked you with obtaining a copy, I fear she asks the impossible. The executors would not allow it.
The executors?
Coveters of Secrets. A clandestine organization committed to the collection and intenebration of forbidden texts and technologies. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, chronicling as it does the true history of the enslavement of bearers, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever to become widely known. Or, so rumor has it. I've never actually read the thing, or even set eyes on it for that matter.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why, secrecy is the executor's watchword. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that which must be seized, be it books, inventions, or people, before disappearing again, leaving nary a trace.
Which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp not long after she found it.
By the hand of the executors, yes.
But what drives them? Self-interest or ideology?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known of the executors can be recounted in a single breath. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, numbers, or the identities of their leaders. Any answer I give would be pure speculation.
Then my hunt was doomed from the first. What was Vivian expecting? That I'd pluck it from thin air?
Not from thin air, no. From ash. Rumors of the executors are rife among the scholars of Storm, but rather less so across the strait. I have a friend. Well, I had a friend in the village of Garnick, a collector of rare tomes, upon which subject we would oft correspond. Alas, I have heard naught from him since the skies fell dark. And no doubt he too has turned. But though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that a surviving copy of From a Distance yet rests upon one of his many shelves, quietly awaiting discovery. If you were, by some chance, able to save even a single book from the poor man's library, I know his soul would rest easier.
Very well. When I next find myself in Waloed, I'll be sure to pay Garnick a visit.
Vale, a ver, ya que estamos aquí.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. Having never visited, I cannot tell you exactly where in Garnick my friend's lodgings lie, but he did mention they were some distance from the road. I make no guarantee that you will find what you seek there, only that it is the best and perhaps the only place left to look. I have a few new notes that might interest you. fascinating excerpt I've been meaning to show you.
Hostia, madre de Barnabás. Uno de los pocos descendientes del pueblo de Mekis que huyeron de Balistea para buscar refugio en las tierras allende la mar, hasta que la aparición de las tierras estigias forzó su regreso. Al igual que el resto de integrantes de su clan, era una devota creyente del círculo de Malia que le inculcó las enseñanzas de la fe a su hijo. Acabó muriendo durante un conflicto con los fanáticos seguidores de otra religión. Artema adopta esta forma para parecerse ante él. Hijo de puta, Artema. Antigua religión a partir de la cual ha surgido un nuevo culto en Cenicia. Se originó entre las gentes que vivían junto al cristal madre de Mekeis, quienes dieron luz a numerosos murales que ayudaron a difundir la fe. Antaño alcanzó un gran popularidad en toda la Balistea, pero en el paso del tiempo y el colapso de la civilización que la alumbró terminó cayendo en el olvido. Y es Fénix con Ifrit, tío. ¿Qué es esto?
If you have a question for me, I should be happy to answer it.
Vale, y entonces, ¿ahora dónde vamos? Buah, tenemos un montón de misiones. ¿Y dónde está? Ah, vale, esto está aquí. ¿Cuánto llevamos grabando?
Run like the wind.
La putada es que solo vamos nosotros dos, tío. El puto Gol y yo, ¿Que aquí ya no hemos ido? Si aquí ya hemos ido. Me parece que aquí ya hemos estado.
Straight home now.
Sí, sí, aquí estuvimos.
The entire village looks abandoned.
Sí, 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 aquí estuve, tío.
Which house would a bookworm live in?
Que me acuerdo que dije, oye, aquí no hay nada, qué raro, ¿para qué esta casa así todo este pueblo? Bedemecum de plantas venenosas, vida del dragón. Estos son medusas.
Is interest
Estero de fábulas y
certainly
leyendas.
varied.
Desde la distancia, auge en la caída. Los primeros hombres que gozaron del don de la magia, regalo de dioses, fueron considerados vicarios en la tierra del poder de los cielos y los reconocía como portadores de la bendición celestial. Se les admiró cuáles deidades, cristales hechos carne. Con el tiempo, este respeto se trocó a veneración y una nueva religión surgió en torno a estas figuras. Los regentes de las diferentes naciones de la época, temerosos de la imparable influencia del Clive, ha ganado dominios que han perseguido a sus líderes, bla bla bla.
This is it.
Ahora este.
But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Vale, pues me lo tenía que haber leído. Pensaba que no era eso, ¿eh? Vale, pues ya está. ¿A qué no puedo irme de aquí? Ya decía yo.
Leave
leaving so soon, stranger?
¿Este quién es?
We've been watching you. From a distance, so to speak.
Subtle. I know who you are.
Los inquisidores.
We need not waste time on introductions. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make. But by one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Qué pesados sois.
Let's see, shall we?
Vale.
Get him! This one! Over here! Get him!
Ah, que me dio. Joder! Es que no me deja, tío. Es que me pega hostias, tío. ¡Ah! Me ha dado. Vale.
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it.
Pues se
Let's
fue.
give this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Pues vámonos.
There's something about it.
Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Muy bien, misión cumplida. Birrete de erudita. Vamos a ver las cosas estas que tenemos. Incrementa el ataque de Toll. Oh. Bueno, pues ya está. Y eso también me mola, ¿eh? Eso está guay. ¿Y esta puedo cambiarla en pirobarridos? Sí. Vale, lo voy a dejar así. Voy a guardar. Y vamos a dejarlo aquí. Vale, nos vemos hasta entonces, chicos. Cuidaros. Bye bye.